Hey, let's get into this review for Sympathy for the Narcissist, which is up now on Tubi. When I watched it, I paid $3 and some change to rent it on Amazon Prime, and then now it's on Tubi, but it's alright. I don't mind supporting, okay? Now, I'm going to say this because it's going to be hard for me to do this review without totally giving away the movie. So if you haven't seen Sympathy for the Narcissist, cut this off, go watch it, jump back in, alright? So, the quality of this movie is I will say it's a little less than some others probably Tubi made. I'm thinking movies that are made by Tubi probably have a bigger budget, right? So if you're used to that quality, you know, you're gonna have to just get used to this lesser. And that is in no way, no disrespect at all. It costs money to make even quote unquote low budget films cost thousands of dollars. So I get it, all right? This was shot in, I want to say this was shot in North Carolina, just going off of where the actors and stuff are from. And then they say it's in North Carolina, so I'm assuming it's shot there. So shout out to the production crew for shooting there. Real quick before I get into this review, Tubi is a platform where filmmakers who might not be getting the yeses from Hollywood, they're shooting movies all in the Midwest, the South, you know, non-traditional cities that we don't usually think about. Movies are being filmed where there's Detroit, Houston, this one's in North Carolina. Shout out, man, to any filmmaker who is taking things into their own hands and like, hey, my movie may be quote unquote low budget and all that, but it's getting out there, okay? What your story's getting out there, you're being heard, you're accomplishing your dream. So I just really want to send that out there because I know a lot of times Tubi movies and low budget movies, independent films seem to get a bad rep or seem to not be looked at as being as important as movies that are maybe in bigger streaming platforms like Netflix or in the theaters. All right, so I just want to send that out there. So one of the things I love about this movie is I like the fact that you have a plot twist, then another plot twist, right? To totally shut that first plot twist down. I really enjoyed that. Okay, so while we were watching the movie, we're thinking Jacob's the narcissist because, you know, he meets her, he's all into her, you know, love bombing, I want you to meet my mom and all this stuff. And then as soon as she gets any type of attention from another man, all of a sudden he's this violent person acting all crazy, right? So that first plot twist where she finds out that his adopted mom is actually in on him robbing her of her money, right? That's the first plot twist, and we find out that he also has been doing this to various other women. He meets them, gets them to fall for him and all this, then finds out their credit card information, bank account information, and takes their money and dips, right? Well, the main character, she feels like he's following her and being stalked. So this is before we get to that second plot twist. So when we find out that his foster mom was in on it, I'm thinking, okay, I think I know how this is going to end, right? You know, she's going to probably end up killing the foster mom and Jacob, you know, out of self defense. Or the guy that really actually likes her, the one that she was with before, not with, but the one she knew before Jacob, I'm thinking he's going to come in, save the day, and kill them both, and they're going to run off into the sunset, and that's going to be the end of the movie, right? Now, the main character is talking back and forth to a therapist. So we get to the point where the therapist is like, you know, sometimes narcissists, they make stuff up. And while she was going through this, I'm thinking, isn't that more of like multiple, I think it has a different name, but isn't that like multiple personality disorder? Or maybe schizophrenia. Like, I didn't know narcissism was like that. I thought narcissists were people that just put a very bold emphasis on like themselves and put themselves up. Like, that's what I thought. So what she was describing, I'm like, damn, that's a narcissist. You can make people up and make up stuff and all this stuff. So when we get to that part, that's when I was like, ooh, what's going on? And she was like, you're gonna, you make up things, imaginary stuff. We find out Jacob's ass is not even real, and that she's the one who ended up stabbing her boyfriend, the new guy. She's the one who ended up killing the detective, not Jacob. And I love, this was kind of a Wizard of Oz moment. You know how in the Wizard of Oz, when she woke up and like the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Lion, they were actually people she knew in real life, right? But she dreamt about them as characters. That's how I felt on this part. Like when she realized she was actually cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and the therapist was actually a therapist in an insane asylum. I know that's an old school term, but that's just what I'm gonna say. Mental health facility, whatever. We see Jacob's foster mom is one of the nurses. Jacob is one of the, I guess, psych techs giving her medicine. It's like, girl, you created this whole entire world. And stuff started to make sense. Like, there was a scene where she was with Jacob where we could actually see, the Jacob character. And she bumped into this guy, and Jacob got mad. And the doctor was like, hey, here's my card. I'm a doctor. And he was looking at her like, basically, she was out there by herself. And so that scene made more sense of why he was telling her, like, because at first, when I first was watching it, I was like, why is he telling her he's a doctor? Like, is that because you think Jacob's crazy? The whole time she was going crazy. And then that scene where she was talking to Jacob and that girl was looking at her and she was just like, okay. Yeah, she was talking to her damn self. So she was crazy as all get out. But if anybody is familiar with narcissism, can you please explain, because I didn't know it was so deep where people can make up whole scenarios. Like, I know people lie, but it's one thing to make up something and you truly believe it and you're blocking out memories. Like, I didn't know narcissism was that deep. Maybe because the internet has totally taken that word and just used it for any time you don't like a guy. He's a narcissist, it's like, so I said, you know what, maybe I need to do some research or something, go on Google or talk to some people that have therapy degrees in that psychology to see how serious and deep narcissism gets, right? But yeah, I really enjoyed the plot, and the plot twist made up for it not being as super high quality. And again, like I stated before, that's not a insult. I'm just saying it is what it is. But it makes up for it. And shout out again to everybody who was in this. I like a good plot twist. I'm kind of spoiled with plot twists. I expect every movie to have a plot twist now if it's like a thriller or suspense thriller or something. But yeah, so go ahead. Like I said, if you've reached this point, you've probably already seen it. So I don't even need to tell you to go watch it and all that. Shout out to my 92 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you can by hitting that button for me, all right? Peace and blessings to you all. Until next time.